like to reserve the overhead compartment space for large bags and overboards only. Once you find
We are sorry to announce that the 2132 Heathrow Express service.
Good evening. How are you? It's so good to be back. Well, I'm off on another adventure. This time I am in Scotland and I will be walking the Great Glen Way. Oh my goodness, it has been such a journey so far. I'll show you. We're in Fort William right now. This is our view and it is wet. It's wet and cold, but I am so excited to be here. I'm traveling today with my friend Jenny and Jamie, my husband. He's back there somewhere. And we have planned 5 days of walking and hopefully the weather will clear up just a little bit. But my goodness, it has been, as you can see from the intro, it has been quite the journey. Several planes and bus ride, but I am so happy to be here in Scotland. It's an absolutely gorgeous country and I can't wait to get started tomorrow. All right, well, it's good to see you and thanks for tuning in, and there's definitely more to come. So we're currently in Fort William still. It's almost noon already. We're getting a late start. It is a dreary day. It's gray skies and drizzling. It's pretty cold. It's in the 50s. So we had to stop off at the outfitter store because we needed rain pants. But yeah, we are excited to get started. Our next stop is in South Laggan. It's 20 miles from here, so we don't want to walk that whole distance. I wasn't able to secure accommodations between here and there, so I had to kind of make the first day really long. Because of that, we have decided to either catch a taxi or a bus about halfway. We haven't quite decided how far we want to walk, and then we're going to walk from there. Can't wait to get started with walking, but we're enjoying walking around the town. It's a cute little town, cobblestone streets, and there's a lot of people out right now. We haven't had a chance to really do any touring around, but there just seems to be a lot of activity here. So this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, really cute stores here.
It's a little bit more wild.
No,
so
you might be able
got,
to
like,
ask.
the
Here is the start. Apparently you're supposed to touch this arch, and this is the start.
One of them. We got one of them.
we sure did. You know what it's called, the sailing
The side of Loch Lochy, so we're going this way.
we took a taxi to just beyond Clunis, and it's kind of between Clunis and the Great Glen Way viewpoint. We've seen just beautiful waterfall, walked through a cute little forest, and now we are walking alongside the first lake, and it's called Loch Lochy. Apparently, Loch means lake, and so whoever named this lake, they weren't very imaginative. They just named it Loch Lochy. But it's the first of 4 lakes. He told me there was Loch Lochy, Loch Ness, another one, and I forget what the last one was. But yep, there's our first lake. So we stopped off at this little rest area. It's really cute. They have these bears that are carved out of wood to kind of signal the rest area location. There's a toilet up there, and then here's a little shed that you can sleep in if you were backpacking. In front of me, there's a fire pit, and right off the side of this area here, you can see the lake. And look at this. How cute is this? Very cute. But it's a chilly day. It's not too cold. Let me see. 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind makes it feel colder than that. The sun is trying to come out. You can see it's just beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, Jamie, so you've been on the Camino and you've been on the Camano Coto. So what does this trail remind you of?
Well, the trail is smooth, kind of like the Camino, but the natural environment is very wild and empty, almost like Alaska.
Yeah.
It's very cold and wet, and not a lot of people around.
So I think in that way it's kind of like the Camano Coto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the trail, we're walking on a very smooth dirt road as opposed to the ups and downs and roots and rocks of Camano Coto.
Right, there's no altitude change. At least there's very little altitude change. I mean, I think this is, such a lovely walk. If it weren't so wet, actually the wet doesn't bother me that much. But my feet are all wet. I think if you decide to do this and you want dry feet, you're gonna have to pack weatherproof boots. Okay, so I've noticed the weather here changes in an instant. Like you'll be walking along just fine and then all of a sudden there'll be this huge downpour. So be ready for that. When we rode in the taxi here, the driver said that you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. We are currently finishing up the diversion. If you use All Trails to map your course, it'll take you down on a trail that's closer to the canal or closer to the river. But at a certain point, they blocked that trail off and diverted us to an upper trail, which had wonderful views. But the reason why they blocked it off is because they're doing construction, as you can see over here. They're building something, from my understanding, what they're going to be able to do is store energy. And it has to do with the difference of water levels between the reservoir and something like that. I didn't quite understand it all, but the point I'm trying to make is if you use all trails to guide you on your way, you do have to take an upper path, which adds a little bit of time, but again, the views are just spectacular. We will connect with that lower trail here in a little bit, and then we'll be back on the All Trails Trail.